It's 2026 and I probably haven't listened to a radio station since I was in middle school, but I've never really been a huge car stereo, listen to music type person. I usually just listen to the engine while I'm driving, but sometimes when you're on a long trip, it can get a little monotonous, so I will turn on some type of music, but when I do, it's definitely not going to be this.
Guru City's right place to talk.
This whole book has been teaching us there's a God in heaven.
So today I want to take out this crusty old AM stereo and see if I can retrofit it with this Bluetooth device so I can connect my phone and play my own music through it without losing that nostalgic look. So of course I've seen the options there are for stereos for these old cars. They pretty much make a nostalgic looking stereo for any of these things, and they have AM, FM, and Bluetooth, but those can range between $250 and up to $500 or $600 depending on what you get. So I thought it'd be cool to try out this $16 adapter and see if I can get that to work, because if I can, I'll put a link in the description and you all can try it for yourselves. Only about 5 wires total going to the back of this thing. This is pretty hilarious to me how massive this thing is, and I guess this is what it took in 1977 to have an AM radio with one speaker in the dash, and I won't be upgrading the speakers on this video. I just want to make sure this is fundamentally possible. Putting this Bluetooth adapter in here, I'm going to see if I can get the volume knob to still work with this thing, and we'll gut all of this because it's actually pretty heavy. Get all that stuff out of there, and we'll slide this thing all back in, and hopefully it should be a pretty straightforward install. Pretty cool to see how this old AM radio works, especially with the presets, being able to push those buttons and have it go to select channels. I'm not exactly sure the science between how all of these tubes and things function to change the frequency, but it is kind of fun to look at. I think I'm going to try to keep all of that so that it maintains its functionality, at least its feel. If you turn the radio knob or anything like that, you can still kind of change the channel, or at least pretend to. As for the rest of everything else, this big heavy metal thing in the back here and whatever the volume knob is plugged into, I'm going to tear all that out so we have plenty of room for the new Bluetooth motherboard. There never seems to be a lack of dust or mud or mold, whatever it is, in this truck. So here's another dirty thing I'll be glad to get cleaned up. I probably could have figured out some way of wiring this volume control directly into the board, but it's got a lot of interesting, overly complicated things going on with it. There was some kind of D-static knob on here as well, and I think it might just be easier to physically attach it to this piece here. So I'm gonna take this back part of it off and see what that looks like, and maybe we'll be able to find a way to stick that on there. It looks like this is gonna work. The original volume knob has a little slot kind of cut out on it, and it should slide just perfectly into this Bluetooth one once I modify it a little bit. But I think before I get any further on this, I should probably try powering up this Bluetooth module. This is literally gonna be the easiest thing you could possibly ever wire. You've got the plug right here that I'm assuming just goes to one speaker. There's a black and a green for positive and negative. Then coming out of here is power and a ground, and that's basically it. There's one other wire coming out of it, and I'm pretty sure that goes to the headlight switch, which controls the backlight on the radio. And I might just hardwire that so that that light's always on when the ignition's on. I think would be kind of cool. I don't even think that light's working anyways, but let's plug this thing in real quick and see if it works. All right, so the speaker works. I'm gonna see if I can connect to the, I don't even know what the name of the Bluetooth is. All right, well, those are all good sounds. Wow, that actually got pretty loud. Oh my God. That makes me really excited that the idea for this is actually working. You know, it's pretty simple and straightforward, so it should, but this is kind of a test for what I want to do with the Quattro. I wanted to do something similar like this little box, and they advertise it as 200 watts. I'm not really sure if that's true, but it might be able to power the 4 speakers that are in there. That car has no stereo at all. A previous owner took it out and put those triple gauges there, so it would be cool to maybe put this thing in here and have the volume knob hidden somewhere. So for those days I do want to listen to music, it would be easy and convenient Now I want to see if I can get this thing to physically fit in here and work properly. I don't think there's a lot going on here. It's really just this knob, which doesn't have a ton of resistance to it. So we should be able to connect these two things together, bolt it in there, and we'll be on our way. The stereo is all cleaned up, it's put back together. I got some wires crimped on here with some plugs so it's easy to take in and out of the car. And it looks like it's on there pretty good. I got some screws holding the piece on, and the volume knob is turning pretty easily. So let's put that thing back in there and we should be all good to go. My farm truck Bluetooth radio project turned out perfectly and I'm really happy with it. It only took half the afternoon. It was so easy and I'm really confident that any of you watching this video can accomplish this too. Very little knowledge for wiring, just 4 wires basically, power and the speakers. So I'll put the link in the description so all of you can benefit from this really cheap Bluetooth option and not have to spend the $250 on those aftermarket radios or maybe even more. So this thing functions exactly how I want it to. I'm able to turn it on with the key on and off, you know, when I turn the vehicle off. So it's not wasting the battery on the truck, the music's not still playing, whatever. And then also, you know, I can connect really easily. It connects as soon as I power the radio on, which is really cool. And I was also able to retain the little selector knob that moves the radio station, kind of like, you know, a fake children's toy, but it still has all the presets and everything, which is really cool. So really happy with how that turned out. And I'm looking forward to next time I drive this thing, being able to listen to a little bit of music or a podcast or whatever. So with all that being said, check your polarizer.
I need to know everything, who and the what and the where, I need everything. Trust me, I hear what you're saying, but act like it's new what you're telling me. I'm curious, George, I hop in the Porsche, 5 and a horse, I'm ready for war, I'm coming for throws.